Good morning. Welcome to 365 Days of Richer Living, daily morning reading, meditation, and prayer time. I am Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in Columbia, Maryland. Today is May 6th. I am aware that God recognizes me as the divine person it intended me to be, and I accept my inheritance of wholeness today. And the scriptural reference for today's reading comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 29. Ye shall have a song as in the night, and gladness of heart as when one goeth with a pipe into the mountain of the Lord. Excuse me. So the reading begins. Let us see if we cannot take the pipe of faith and go into the mountain of the Lord, which is the secret place of the Most High within us, and let the whole pipeline of our lives flow from that perfect Spirit, which is in the center of everything. I am one with the infinite and perfect Spirit, the giver of all good and perfect gifts. I open my mind and my heart, and indeed my whole body, to the inflow of this divine presence. I know that this living presence is in every cell of my body and every function of my being. I now accept this divine presence as the health of my body here and now. I accept it as that which looses from me all that is unlike the perfect expression of life. There is no doubt or fear in my mind that rejects in any way all that God is right here and now. My conscious acceptance of the fullness of the presence of God through joy and love flows out to bless those who I would help, those whom I would share this inner joy. I decree that whosoever I would bring into the scope of my thought is now blessed and healed through the presence of good which is within. The radiance of joy in my heart brings happiness into the lives of those around me. The abundance which prospers me supplies everyone around me with all good things of life. The light which warms the center of my own being shines forth that all may find guidance and warmth and comfort in its rays. This is the light that lighteth every human that cometh into the world. This is the font from which springs the living waters I drink, and I shall not thirst again. And even as I drink, I hand the chalice of my faith to all. So let's take that into our time of meditation and contemplation. The breath of life. One breath, breathing all of life. One shared breath. This breath is an expression of the infinite beingness of life. One energy, one power, everywhere present, beyond definition, indefinable, unnameable. It simply is, has always been. It is that reality, that substance out of which all creation has come. It is the activity of creating. And so it must be the creation itself. Creating out of itself, through the activity of itself, to expand its experience of itself, to expand its expression of itself. This is life. Whether we recognize it as love or peace or power or presence, whether we recognize it as God, Buddha, Allah, Great Spirit, it is all of these things. And it is beyond all of these things. It is the truth of my being. I know this by resonance. I recognize the infinite presence, the infinite of life, the breath of life breathed me while I slept. While there was no brain awareness of being in a body in a physical realm, that there was undisturbed communion with the essence of creation. That each time I sleep, I experience the wholeness of my being. And I choose to remember. All that life is, all that God is, all that the divine is, whatever name we use, all that it is must live, move, and have its being in, through, and as its creation. And so there is nothing to seek and everything to remember, to reveal, revealing what is already fully present in, through, and as each expression of creation. I recognize that in the truth of oneness, every realization, every revelation, every remembering that I have within this iteration of the divine opens the channel for more to remember, shifts the energy of the whole, opening every cell in the one body to a new experience, just as every awareness that each individualized expression comes to opens the way for me as an individualized cell, that the reciprocity within the one body is unavoidable. Just as water evaporates and returns as rain, truth was instilled at birth and returns as awareness. And so I speak my word this day. And by my word, I am acknowledging the word of the infinite speaking through its creation. That the words that I use simply capture as best they can the desire of the infinite to express. Recognizing that the words are finite with varied meanings. I recognize the same is true of creation. That in the infinite, the finite exists as creative form in multiplicity, no two the same. And so language, however we experience it, is simply an expression of the infinite in this physical realm. I claim and affirm the power within each being to shift beliefs, to shift awareness, to shift attention, to shift intention, to become aware of the divine nudges that are speaking in that still small voice, nudging each forward into a greater expression of what has always been, of the truth of creation, of the wholeness of one, of the perfection of one, of the completeness of one. I release any need, any investment, any attachment to doubt. I allow them to flow through me, just as I allow air to flow in and out. No need to resist or judge or fix them through avoidance. I simply recognize that this too is part of this human experience, the divine experiencing itself as human, sorting it out between the brain and mind. And I simply allow the process to be in me, as me, through me. And I celebrate each opportunity to remember who I am. Grateful to experience the freedom to simply be real, knowing that grace, the eternal givingness of life to its creation, is freely given. And so there is no condemnation within me for any thought, for any questioning, but rather there is celebration. There is celebration because the questioning is the curiosity that leads me home to the truth of me. And so I celebrate. I give thanks for this creative presence and power that always responds affirmatively to itself, that never withdraws itself from its creation, because it is its creation. One, whole, perfect, and complete. That just as quickly as words are formed in mind that express the desire of the heart, that is the very desire of the infinite seeking expression through each of us. Law says yes. Law, the activity of creation, the doer, the receiver of desire, and the actor has already made it so. And so I can confidently release. And by release, I am reminding the human iteration of me that there is nothing for this human to do to make it happen, that it is already done. And so I release any need to make anything happen. And when I say I release my word into the activity of law, it is reminding my brain that the creative process is already fulfilled and there is nothing for me to do other than to step into each moment of now with the faith that knows it's complete, and to allow myself to be guided on the path of fulfillment. And so I do indeed let go. I celebrate that God is God. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is.